Oh, you know what? I don't even have web browser open to see if we're live. Hopefully we're live. Hopefully we're live.
Oh, let me check too. I can check. You still got Santa Claus. You're still Santa Claus on your homepage.
I know I am. I'll be Santa Claus forever. Paid a lot
Okay.
for that suit, like $5.
All right. Like what,
So,
$15?
yeah, something like that. All right, we are live. Woo! We are live.
We are live.
We are live. What in the world? Whoa. Hey, does it look good to you? I'm looking at it live and it's going.
Yeah,
Oh,
looks good to me. I'm
Now it's
looking at it live too.
yeah, there we go. All right. So we're live. Oh, and I see people are joining us already. Hey, we got a kind of a new look going on here, so it should be a little fun. And today we're going to talk a little bit about having fun with live videos. And so we're going to discuss some of the options, some of the things we can do, some of the ideas that can be used for live videos these days, because a lot has changed and it used to be a pretty popular topic to discuss with us, but we haven't in a while, just because, didn't want to talk about the same things all the time, and but now things have changed a lot. There's a lot of other fun little ways to do live video, and so we want to talk a little bit about that today. So, Steve, does that make you ready? Are you ready for this podcast?
I am ready to rock and roll Ray.
Excellent. In that case, shall we give it a countdown of the 5?
Let's
I've
do
got
it.
my. By the way, before we start, look, I've got my new controller directly
Oh,
from
yeah.
the iPad, so I'm not messing with the keyboard anymore. I got these nice fancy little buttons that I can organize. Ooh.
So that Mimo integrates with that. Is
Yeah,
that
it
how
always
works?
has. I just never sat
okay.
down and set it up until now, finally, because I always just did it from the keyboard. But this is a lot easier. Should be a lot easier. And you can make it bigger. I got to make some of these things bigger so they're not just individual buttons. But we'll mess around with that and we'll figure it out. All right. Enough of that talk. Let's get ready for it. By the way, hey, and the other thing, notice our news crawl is back.
Yes.
It's now a Google news crawl. So this is actually from Google News related to YouTube, because for whatever reason, the Tubular Insights one doesn't work anymore. So now we got
Well, and I also noticed all the real SEO articles went away. Tubular Insights used to carry those over. They're not there anymore.
unbelievable.
So, yeah.
Change.
Yeah, change.
Who
I
wants
don't like change. Yeah.
Me neither. Dang
Yeah.
it. All right. With that, let's get to a countdown. Are we ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about having fun with live videos. And today's episode is made possible by one of my favorite companies, Movo. Movo creates amazing tools that you can use when you're shooting video. So if you need a lavalier microphone that actually plugs right into your smartphone, you can grab one of those. If you need to put your smartphone onto a tripod and you don't want to use one of those cheap little $10 things that falls apart and breaks, that, by the way, we used to sell, so I apologize if you have one and it broke. You can get that all from Movo. In fact, the guys at Movo just sent me a couple of things. They sent me one of their nice wireless microphone sets, which actually it's way over on the other side of the room where I'd show it right now, but maybe we'll grab it later on and you'll get to watch me run across the room. But they sent me a wireless UHF wireless set. Really, really cool. I love it. It's fantastic. We'll be doing some reviews for that over the upcoming days and weeks. And they also sent me one of their professional video kits that comes with a smaller wireless microphone set. It comes with a tripod mount. It comes with a small LED light. And it comes with a remote button so that if you're shooting at yourself with your phone, you can stand across the room and press the remote button. So it's got a lot of really cool things in there. It's got a little cleaning kit so you can clean your screen off. So lots of fun little stuff in there, and a nice little kit that we actually have sold quite a few of already. And now I finally have one. So they sent me one the other day. Can't wait to start to review all of that. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Fun little product there. So that's from Movo Photo. So if you want to check them out, of course, you can do so by going to raisebonuses.com/Movo. Or if you'd like to get one of our pocket video packages where you can get the lavalier microphone for your smartphone, you can get that at raythevideoguide.com/LV1. And that'll come with not only the microphone, but you'll also get some YouTube training courses, some videos and backgrounds and music and all that kind of fun stuff to make your videos even better.
That's at raythevideoguy.com?
That
or
one is at
that,
raythevideoguide.com/LV1.
Oh, okay.
And then,
I thought it was
yes.
at Pocket Video Pro.
at pocketvideopro.com/LV1. I'm going to have to copy that page and put it on there as well. So, and actually, if you go to raythevideoguy.com and hit the Get Started button, there's actually a page there that has links to all of these products and the Pocket Video Pro products that we have in there. So you can actually go there and link to it from there as well.
Groovy.
So thank you, Steve. Pocket Video Pro. Dagnabbit /LV1. And if you want just the tripod mount with all of our Pocket Video Pro kits, that's at pocketvideopro.com/PR1. And PR1 is the name of that tripod mount. So, all right, that's the longest intro in the history of podcasting. So without further ado, let's hit the music with my new little, I don't even know what we call it here, my little control board here. So here we go with the music.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. What does that say?
I have no idea. It's in Greek.
Oh, it's Greek to me. You can subscribe to all our stuff at govmm.com. We've got iTunes and Google Podcasts and YouTube. We got your Facebook, we got your Twitter. You can get social, and you can subscribe on all the podcatchers there. I think we got 4 podcatchers there. So
Yes, indeed.
very groovy.
All those wonderful places, and of course, govmm.com. govmm.com. Check it all out there. It's a beautiful
Shane?
page with all of our episodes, easy to find and easy to connect with the live ones and to watch all of the past ones or listen to all the past ones. So good stuff. Good stuff. So what we want to talk about today is we want to talk about having fun with doing these live videos. Now, of course, Steve and I, we've been doing our podcast in a Facebook Live format for, I don't know, about a year and a half now, somewhere around there. It's been a while. Probably close to 2 years at this point.
2
that we've been
years,
doing
I
it this
think.
way. And of course, the inspiration behind this is the old Imus show where it would show behind the scenes, or Howard Stern where it would show behind the scenes. So you can kind of see how the audio show is created. So you might be listening to this as a podcast, but we do it live in front of a live studio audience on Facebook. So I guess it's not a studio, but we do it on Facebook Live as a video, and we have these lovely little graphics and things like that go on, and it looks nice and pretty.
Yeah.
But of course, the inspiration may have been Imus and Howard Stern, but we've been doing it for quite a while now. We've gotten pretty good at it, and we have fun doing it. Steve's got his pen raised, which that's behind the scenes talk for Steve wants to speak. So
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. That way, I'm not interrupting you or talking
That's right.
over you. I'm interrupting
right.
you. I'm just not talking. I think you were one of the first to do it because while everybody else was experimenting with OBS, it's just me. While everybody else was experimenting with OBS, you were actually on Mimo Live and doing stuff that looked like CNN and things like that. And
That
you
is
had a
correct,
switcher
sir.
and all that.
That is correct, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
the idea behind it is, there's a lot of, and when we talk about having fun, there's a lot of different programs that can help you to do live video that's more than just holding your phone up and talking into it and responding to people as they send in messages and whatnot. And YouTube Live, of course, is used by newscasters across the country, news stations. It's used by sports companies. Major League Baseball did some live games on Facebook Live. The UFC does some fights live on there, or at least they used to. I'm not sure if they used to do some prelim fights on there. I don't know if they do that during their pay-per-views anymore. The WWE has a live show where they show live matches now. So they do it, and Major League Soccer does it as well. So there's a lot of different companies that are doing these live things that aren't just somebody talking to their friends on their phone. And so we wanted to talk about some of the fun that you can have with that, some of the tools that might help you to be able to do that. And hopefully you can get out there and start to do some fun stuff. And one of the inspirations behind this was obviously our show here. But this past week, I did a good friend of ours, Owen Video, and Nick Nimmin. They have a show. And I was on the first episode of their new format that they're kind of doing, which is, they stole it from us, of course, but it's a live, wild, behind the scenes type of podcast recording tool on Facebook Live, just like we do it here. And so it was very fun, and they do a great job, and they've got a producer who's doing all the switching, whereas in our case, we're cheapskates, and I do all the switching myself, which is why you'll see me look down quite often as I do anything that we do, because I'm doing it all myself. So what can we do with that, right? But the point is, we can have a lot of fun with that. And the program that we are using is one called Mimo Live that we'll talk about. The one that Owen used was one called vMix, which is a very similar type of tool that you can do a lot of the same types of things, but you can also do this with OBS, and there are other tools out there as well. So we want to talk a little bit about all of those. And if you haven't seen OBS yet, OBS is great because it's a free tool that you can use to broadcast either your webcam or whatever camera you have hooked up to your computer. You can show videos, you can show graphics, you can add graphics to your videos, and do a lot of real cool stuff. Now, the one problem with OBS is that while it is free and it's very useful, it's still kind of limited. You don't get to do a lot of stuff with it, and the stuff that you do, again, can be a little bit limited. But one way around that to use OBS to do your live streaming is to create your video beforehand. So use some other tool that maybe doesn't live stream, put together all of your segments into a final video, and then stream that video as if it's live. Now, some would say that's kind of cheating because, of course, now you're not really going live. You're taking an existing video that's not live and running it live. In TV, this comes from TV, by the way, because there's a lot of different things on TV. So you have things called live to tape, live. And so that's kind of what we're playing here is you might be doing your show live to tape. In other words, like we're doing right now for our podcast. We're not streaming our podcast live. We're streaming this video live, but we're recording the podcast and then playing it out later. But we're recording the podcast as if it's live and then playing it. And so you can kind of do the same thing if you get into OBS. So record your podcast live or record your live video and then take that recording, put it through OBS to stream it as if it's live. And, people aren't going to know the difference really. According to Facebook, you're kind of supposed to let them know that you're not really live, but, you can get away with what you can get away with. But Facebook, we are actually live when we're doing this. So, and you can see because the time up right up there, the date and the time shows that we are indeed live as we speak. So yes, Steve gives the thumbs up on that. So that's one of the things that you can do with OBS is take an existing video and then you can stream it out as if it's live, and you just do it beforehand. You could record it, using maybe like Skype. You could have a Skype conversation, record each side of the conversation, or you could use a program like Zoom. If you haven't used Zoom before, zoom.us. Very similar, where you could actually do like Steve and I are doing and talk back and forth. And then you could take that recording and you can kind of put the graphics around it afterwards, make a final video, and then stream it out through something like OBS. And again, OBS is completely free and is a very powerful tool for a free tool. It's very powerful. So OBS Project is what you want to look up to download that today. You want the OBS Studio, by the way. They have two different versions. They have an old version just called OBS, and they have one called OBS Studio, which is the one you want to get. It's going to allow you to have different video sources and cameras. It's going to allow you to have graphics and layers and things like that. It's not the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not the most elegant software in the world, but it does get you through it. And like I said, if you record everything beforehand and you're just putting a video in there, it's perfect. It's going to do exactly what you need. So you can do that without any problems. Now, getting into some of the more fun things, as I said, we're using a program called Mimo Live. And what Mimo Live is essentially a full television studio in a box. And that means that we've got multiple cameras we can hook up to it, multiple audio sources. We can show videos. We can show graphics. We can put graphics on the videos. We can do the split screen like we have now. We can do switching. So if I want to switch back and forth from me to Steve to both of us, back and forth, we can do that. And we can do it all live in real time, just like you would in a TV studio. We can, turn on and off the different parts of the show, the date and the time and the logos and all of that just by pressing a few buttons, which is a lot of fun. You can tell I'm having fun doing this, just sitting here clicking on the different buttons. And in fact, if I had thought about it ahead of time, the Mimo Live software does so many cool things. For instance, you could even do live green screening and do like a live weather map. It has a weather map feature built in where you can sit there and you can, and in this city, it's going to be 32 degrees. And it does all of that built in. So it's got a lot of really cool tools. If you're doing any kind of trainings, it actually has the ability to show your PowerPoint and put you into a smaller square down in the corner and put your PowerPoint up. You can also show off your web browser directly so that you can show people in real time what you're doing and you can see the web browser on screen or a piece of software. So if you're trying to teach people how to do, Trello or something like that, you can actually pull Trello up and actually see as you do the different things on Trello. It's all built in right there and it's all built into the software. You have full control over the graphics. So for instance, like our news crawl that I showed here that we can turn on and off, all of this is editable. I made it to where it's dark blue at the top and fades out, but we could have it any color we want. We could have it solid. We could have an animation there instead of a colored background. You can see behind Steve and I, you can barely see it, but there is an animated gray video with some boxes floating by that's behind the two videos here. We can actually control all of this. Like we can separate Steve and I if we want to. So there's a lot of cool things you can do, and you can do it all in real time, like I said, and design exactly what you want to make your show the best it can be. Now, this program is Mac only, so anybody who has a PC, you can say, oh, we need sound effects. That's what I need to add is sound effects in here. I can turn this into a soundboard so we can go, oh. But yeah, this is a Mac only program. But, putting aside whether you like Mac or PC, this really is one of those programs that I like it so much that I would go out and buy some sort of Mac just to run this software because it is that good and it is that useful. And what else can I say about it besides that? It's just an incredible software. So it is Mac only, but it works very, very well. Now, when we did Owen's show the other day, he actually uses a different software called vMix. Now, if you're not familiar with vMix, vMix is a very similar tool, and I believe their website is literally just vmix.com. I'll even double check here to make sure. But yes, vmix.com. And so vMix actually has a very similar type of interface where you've got your program out and you can switch between the different programs on there. You can run multiple cameras, you can produce, you can stream, you can record. It's got output directly to Facebook Live and Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, which by the way, so does Mimo. Mimo has all of those. And you can always create your own. So if you've got what's called an RTMS is a type of stream. And if you can get an RTMS file or a link, then you can stream out to anything. So if there's some other random site that maybe people don't know a lot about that does live streaming, if you can get their stream key, you can put it into any of these softwares and automatically stream out to that one as well. But with most of these softwares, they have direct Facebook, direct YouTube, direct Periscope, Twitch links so that you can do that automatically. So it's a very cool software. The one thing with vMix, and this is kind of where it gets kind of strange, is they've got a couple of different tools with vMix. And if I understand it correctly, it's a Windows-based software, but there's also a Mac version for the controller, but not for the main program. It's very strange the way that it does that. But so really, it's mostly a Windows-based software, but they do have for the Mac, it's the capture tool so that you can capture your video and whatnot. So some of the stuff is Mac, but the main program is a Windows-based program. So if you're Windows, you can use vMix. If you're Mac, you can use Mimo Live. Both are very good programs. and both have their strong features. They both can have, animated open. So if you're doing a video and you want to have a TV show like animated open, you can put that in there. So all of that fun stuff built right into it. And you can do a lot of really neat things with it. You can, whether you're doing a show like this or you're recording something live, maybe you're doing you're going to do a concert. You have multiple cameras, so you can do it just like a full TV program and have a really cool video that you put out there. Now, when you're doing all of these, of course, you want to make sure that you've got a good topic that you want to talk about, which usually we do, Steve. I think we kind of, most of the time we have one. And today we're having more fun than we are doing a very serious topic. I mean, it is a serious topic, but we're having a little bit of fun with this.
No
but-
fun. No fun allowed.
No fun zone.
No fun allowed.
No fun
and,
zone.
and just let me add, I was looking at the list of all the programs, and they're really great topics. If you ever get a chance, I'll drop it in a little quick plug here. Go to VMM.com, and you can see them all on the landing page, all the shows that we've done. And it's a great selection of shows. I mean, there's a lot, a lot of good stuff, and I'm not patting myself on the back at all, because you're the one that picks the topics for the shows. So anyhow, it's good stuff. You do good work.
Why, thank you. No, we do. We've had a lot of fun with it. And that's the thing, is you got to have topics that people want to listen to. And I know that, for the average person, our topics are probably, as boring as watching paint dry. But for people that are in this industry of dealing with videos, dealing with clients, dealing with marketing, it can be more interesting. So you want to make sure that you're appealing to your audience, no matter what that is. You could be doing just something for fun even. And if you're doing something for fun and you know your audience, just make sure you've got the right topics and go out there and really, hammer those topics home. Go out there and really engage in your audience. And I got to be honest, engaging in the audience is not something we really do on this show so much, but in many shows, when you're doing a live show, that's something that you really want to do. But again, our show here isn't really a Facebook Live show. It's a podcast, and we just happen to show you the behind the scenes as we record the podcast. And so it's a little bit different for us in this particular case. But, with most of your shows, you want to pay attention to your audience, and you can kind of see, are people commenting? If they are, talk to them. Respond to those comments live, and you can do some really neat stuff. If you're doing something that you think will be a lot of fun, maybe you're going on scene somewhere to do something that's a little bit different. Well, you could always report from there, and you could record your video there and put it into your show later. Or in the case of, and I'm not sure on vMix, I think you can do this with vMix, but I know with Mimo, one of the things that you can do that's really cool is you can have somebody that's remote in the field. So if we had somebody that was out, maybe, as we're doing a show on Facebook Live, maybe there's a Facebook Live conference going on somewhere, and we have somebody over there, they can actually use their phone and use a program that Mimo has called Reporter, and they can be a live reporter on scene using their phone, and it'll stream back live in real time into our show, and we can cut and talk back and forth to them and, bring them in as a part of the show. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that can be done. We were talking with somebody about doing a show that is like a concert-based show. There's a place up in Nashville where they do all these live shows, and sometimes they're impromptu, but we could do like a live switched show right out of there. So somebody, well-known gets in there and starts to do a show. They've got multiple cameras in there. We connect to those cameras, and we could run a show live from here and put out, a Facebook Live show. And it would be very easy to do that. And, it'd be a lot of fun. And that's the great thing about this, is it is fun. You can have a lot of fun with it. And for the most part, the technology is there now. We run into issues every once in a while. Facebook will cut us off, or the internet will let us down, or heck, the power will go out. You never know. But these things happen less and less nowadays. We're able to just come in here, have some fun, do a show. And think about this. I'm in Atlanta area, and Steve is out in the middle of nowhere, and yet we're able to do a show together. And we've had guests on the show that were in Europe. So I mean, you can do things all around the country and all around the world in real time. And it's just amazing the types of stuff that we can do, but we have to take advantage of the software and the tools that are out there. And so that's why we wanted to do this today, to kind of remind you that there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of fun you can have. And if you take the time, you learn some of these tools, you learn some of the video techniques, learn how to create a little bit of graphics, then you can do a show that people will want to watch, that will be interesting, and really look professional. Because, that's the other part of this too, is you get this stuff down, well, now you have an opportunity to help other people to do that and to get paid for it. I produce a live show for a couple of other people where they pay to have me do the live show. So I sit here on this end and I control the show, and I'm not even on the show. They're in, they've got somebody here and a guest over here in a different town, and I control it from here in Atlanta. And it's like we're in the same studio doing this, but we're in 3 different locations, and you can make good money doing this. And I know Owen does this as well. He was sharing with me one of the shows that he does for somebody right now that's really, really good. And the point is, you can do this if you understand these tools and if you're willing to play around with them and have some fun. Now, I wouldn't necessarily use OBS for that professional version of one, but certainly if you're going to be doing anything that's, just a nice show like this, where we're just talking back and forth, you're bringing on a guest, you're talking about a topic, then you can definitely do that. And I would also recommend, by the way, that you try and do something like maybe a local show. Why not do something live on Facebook where you've got, maybe you talk to, a local business owner or a local politician or somebody that's well known in the area for some particular service that they do. And you could do a live local piece that could do very, very well in that area and that people would pay attention to. You could then maybe even sell commercials on and get people to sponsor it. So you could have a lot of fun doing that if you're willing to put in the time and the effort to learn all of these tools. And like I said, we got a lot of great tools, whether it's the free OBS or whether you're going to use Mimo Live or vMix or any of the other tools, livestream.com. They've got tools there. Very expensive, but they've got tools that you can use for that. Telestream has a great tool that help you that's very similar to OBS, gives you a lot of different options. So there's a lot of things you can do. And of course, we do it live on Facebook, but you've also got YouTube Live. You've also got Livestream, which is part of Vimeo now. So a lot of different options out there. You've also got Periscope. And believe it or not, Steve, I don't even know if you knew this. This is kind of a news item, but we now have LinkedIn Live. So you can do a live show on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
and so that's
I saw
another opportunity to get your message out there. And that would be a little more of a serious type of a show most of the time. But think about this. Get onto something like LinkedIn, start connecting with businesses, and maybe you could start a show on LinkedIn Live that you could bring in some of these businesses, and you could be the person providing that service. A lot of different options out there. What do you think of that, Steve?
Oh, it's exciting, Ray. It's very cool stuff.
It really is. And, there's a lot of tools out there too, by the way. So when you're using something like vMix and whatnot, there's these nice little switchers that you can get that you can click on, and, everything's at the touch of a button. And of course, I talked about, I've got the iPad here, which has the clickable stuffs on here. So if I want to, switch, I can switch to me by clicking this thing just like that. And look how fast that is too.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's very, very quick. Works very well and makes life a whole lot easier. You can also use the keyboards, but you can do all of these things just because the technology has grown so much. And one other thing to note is, we talked a couple weeks ago about something called NDI, and it's by a company called NewTek, and it allows you to use things like iPads and iPhones as cameras without connecting them with wires. So it's a wireless connection where I could put an iPhone over here and an iPad over here, and now I've got 4 cameras on me and switching back and forth. And these tools will use NDI. I believe OBS does, pretty sure vMix does, I know Mimo does, and many other tools as well, so that you can do wireless iPhone and iPad and Samsung and whatever other smartphone that you have, and use that to connect as a wireless camera or microphone. And so it's a very neat thing. And by the way, I used it as a Halloween, at a Halloween party to do a little haunted house where people had to guide each other through an NDI iPad and watch the iPhone camera through the iPad, and it was really neat. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with that. But the big thing is you got to have fun.
Yeah.
And one of the things, by the way, Steve, that I want to do, and it was funny because when I was on Owen's show, he talked about this as well, is I always wanted to do a game show. So I'm thinking about doing a game show. I think that would be a lot of fun to have people on and they've got to, answer questions. I'm trying to figure out the best way to make it. So I'm trying to see, in fact, I talked to the Mimo guys because I want to have it, I would love to have it where, the person on the other end could like hit their space bar and chime in when they have the answer to it. So I ask a question and the first person to hit the space bar gets to answer the question. Something like that, because I think that would be a lot of fun. So I don't know if that will ever happen, but we'll figure out other ways to do it because we want to do these kind of fun and interactive things and, just enjoy the opportunity that we have with this live stuff because you never know. Maybe they'll discontinue it next week. You never know.
Well, one thing I've noticed too is newspapers are getting into a live streaming on whatever platform that will allow them to live stream, as you were mentioning. So YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, etc.
Yep.
In some cases, they're even doing daily radio shows, like from 2 to 6, and they live stream it, and then they make a podcast of it, and it's just another way to generate an audience because, the print product is not what it used to be from a distribution standpoint. So, and I was watching the news conference with Scott Frost, who is the Nebraska football coach on National Signing Day, Frosty, and he was talking about everybody they'd signed, and it was a news conference, so he was answering questions. 1,000 people were watching it on Facebook Live.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and that's just one platform. I mean, I'm sure he was on YouTube and who knows where else, so, and, then they take that and edit it up and put it on TV later on, on the news. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah. And by the way, we talked about being interactive and I see here that Flash says hi and Michael asks about XSplit Broadcaster, which is another Windows-based broadcasting system. I know a lot of gamers use it and it's another one that does a lot of these things. I don't know if that one's as full-featured, but it may well be. I don't know it as well just because it's a Windows-based product and I don't use any Windows-based products. So, it gets beyond me a little bit. But I know that's another one that's really good that can do a lot of the things. And again, I know a lot of the gamers use that one. So that can be a lot of fun.
Oh, they do. Okay.
They do indeed. That's a big part of it too, gaming. My daughter live streams all the time showing off she actually does multiple different live stream things. She does live streaming of games. She does live streaming of these little. This one I don't understand. So if she's watching, I apologize for saying I don't understand these things. But they do these videos where they've got like these little characters, and in her case they're like horses, and they make stories and they film the horses and they you see the hands moving the horses around telling these stories, and for whatever reason they all watch them and create them and. They have a lot of fun with it, and she live streams those, and she live streams some of her video games. My son live streams video games all the time. That's his big thing. He's constantly, in a live stream, either with other people or whatever, and playing some game and having fun.
Twitch.
With it, so
Do they use Twitch?
He does it through Twitch. Yes, his is all through Twitch.
How about your daughter? Twitch.
She is on YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
And I think she might do Facebook too, but she does a lot of YouTube stuff. So.
Okay.
All
Ray the Video Kids.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. So
very
now
cool stuff.
Your son's early 20s, and how old's your daughter? Like 14 or something?
She's going to turn 14 in a couple of months, and my son will turn 20 in about another month. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, about a month and a half.
Well, I didn't do too bad there then.
No, that's pretty close.
Yeah, close enough. Well, good. This is great information, Ray. It's very fascinating, and it's just another way to reach another audience. And in some cases, it could be your primary audience. Like what we're doing right now.
And I have to admit, I'm pretty terrible at it lately, just because I've been so busy with many different things. And we do this every week live, so I'm always live at least once a week, and I try to do some other things here and there, but I don't get to go live nearly as much as I used to, just because we're so busy and out of town and dealing with so many things. But I do want to get, I'm starting to work. I've got an assistant now, and I've got a couple of other VAs. And so hopefully that will free me up to do a lot more of the interaction and things, but we'll see how that goes. So.
Well, you've been Ray the Hula guy, so that's been huge for you, placing ads on Hula for a tourney.
That's again, another platform just showing that video is going in the direction that, man, it's exciting. Just a
Yeah,
totally
it's
different
nuts.
direction.
It's crazy.
So-
Yeah, I kind of miss you doing all your Facebook Lives for your affiliate products. Those are kind of fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get back into doing a lot more of them. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyhow, it's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy. And now, who helped bring this program to our
Well,
fine
this program
listeners and
is made
viewers?
possible by our good friends at Movo Photo, who create all sorts of cool items for shooting better video, not only with your smartphones, but they actually have a lot of tools for traditional shooting as well. But of course, the products that I really love are the smartphone products. So they make lapel microphones that plug directly into your smartphones. They make one with a lightning adapter, so it's a lapel mic that plugs right into your iPhone if you want to go that direction. They make lights, LED lights that you can attach. They make the tripod mount, which, by the way, the tripod mount, one of my favorite tools. It doesn't sound like it's a big deal. It's like, well, it mounts your camera to your tripod, but it's not just that. It mounts your camera to your tripod, but it also allows you can attach a light to that. You can attach a microphone to that, a receiver. You can use it handheld, and it's got a lot of different uses. It's even got a level on it. So if you don't have a tripod with a level, well, then you now have a level, so you can make sure that you're shooting properly, and all of that you can get by heading on over to raisebonuses.com/Movo. That will take you to all their deals. But of course, if you want one of our special deals, well, at pocketvideopro.com/LV1, you can pick up the lavalier microphone that plugs directly into your smartphone. A lot of people don't know, Steve, that lavaliers won't plug into smartphones normally. So if you've got a wired lavalier microphone, you plug it into your smartphone, it's not going to work by itself. They're actually, even though they look the same and they fit in there the same, they are actually technically different, and you won't be able to do that. But with the LV1, you can plug that directly into your smartphone and use it. And with the flip of a switch, you can plug it into a regular camera and use it there as well. So you only need one microphone for all of your different shooting devices, whether you're shooting with your smartphone or your iPad, or you're shooting with a traditional camera. You can do all of that with one microphone just by flipping a switch and plugging it on in. And of course, they make other great tools. They've got LED lights. They've got all sorts of different microphones. They've got shotgun microphones and tabletop microphones. They've got different lenses for your DSLRs. So if you need a nice specialty lens, they've got a lot of those there as well. Again, you can check all of those out at raisebonuses.com/Movo, M-O-V-O. And of course, if you want one of our special Pocket Video Pro packages, well, pocketvideopro.com/LV1 for the microphone, pocketvideopro.com/PR1 for the tripod mount. And each of those will come with all sorts of sound effects and music and videos and trainings and all that other fun stuff, so that you've got a really cool package to make better video than ever before. So check those out right now. And of course, if you got any questions throughout the week, well, let me know. I'll be glad to answer questions on that or anything that we talked about today.
He's good at that.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm
is
good
it-
at talking. I can talk.
Movo is a Swiss Army knife for smartphones, smartphone
It really
video.
is. I mean, it's amazing some of the tools that they have on there, and very, very good prices. For instance, if anybody's familiar with the Smart Lav by Rode, RODE, Rode is a big audio company. They make a lavalier microphone that plugs into your smartphone as well. Theirs is about $80, and it doesn't have the switch so that you can use it on a regular camera, so you can only use it on your smartphone. At Movo, they sell it for, they sell theirs for $20, and it does both. So how can you go wrong with that? $20. You're probably going to spend, more than that buying pizza this weekend. So
That's
you know,
right.
Get a lavalier microphone, and boy, I'll tell you, I deal with a lot of products. I deal with doing reviews for a lot of products. And the number one thing I always complain about with all these guys that are creating products and they put trainings in there is they don't use a microphone. They don't use a good microphone, and it sounds awful. And, $20, guys. Your videos will be 100 times better for $20. Get out there and do it. All you have to do is head on over to pocketvideopro.com/LV1. Get the microphone and plug it into that phone. It's going to be a world of difference. Absolutely change the way that you do video.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Well, let's wrap it up with that groovy Ray the Video song.
All right, Ray the Video Song. I like it.
Ray
Here
the
we
Video
go.
Song.
Woo!
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
That's that.